In the European Union, only one country can design, build, and send out its entire military by itself. While other nations rely on shared programs, France chooses to keep a completely independent army, navy, and air force. This approach isn't new. It comes from the post-war ideas of Charles de Gaulle. The core belief is simple. A country cannot have a truly independent foreign policy if it relies on other nations for its weapons. What is surprising is that France does this on a budget similar to its neighbors. While spending about the same as Germany or the United Kingdom, France chooses to put its money into its own factories instead of buying from abroad. To keep this independence, France must build and maintain everything at home, from fighter jets to nuclear submarines. While this keeps their supply lines safe from foreign embargoes, it also puts a massive strain on their limited defense budget. For its air force, France decided to build the Rafale fighter jet entirely on its own instead of joining other European programs. This gives them the freedom to use and export the jet without asking anyone's permission. France is also the only country in Europe with a nuclear aircraft carrier. It allows them to launch jets anywhere in the world. But because they only have one ship, whenever it is in repair, they lose this capability completely. This search for independence goes down to the smallest parts. France even maintains its own factories to build custom microchips for guided missiles. This ensures that foreign powers cannot install secret backdoors to disable or track French weapons. The ultimate shield for French sovereignty is its independent nuclear weapons. Controlled entirely by the French president, it ensures the country's survival without having to rely on the protection of the American nuclear umbrella. This model is very different from other European powers. While Germany historically relied on the United States for security, and the United Kingdom chose to link its nuclear systems directly to American technology, France decided to stand completely alone. France remains a key member of the NATO alliance, but under a very strict rule: cooperate, but never subordinate. French forces train closely with allies, but their nuclear command and strike decisions remain under absolute national control. However, this full-spectrum model has a major structural weakness. Because peacetime budgets were limited, France chose to design every type of weapon, but could not buy them in large numbers. They have highly advanced systems, but dangerously small stockpiles. In a high-intensity war against a major adversary, French reserves of precision missiles and artillery shells would run out in less than 2 weeks. Their entire military was designed for short, rapid operations abroad, not prolonged industrial conflicts. The military also faces severe manpower limits. While transitioning to a professional, high-tech force created highly skilled soldiers, it also left the army very small. They simply do not have the troop depth or reserves to handle heavy casualties. Replacing lost high-tech equipment is also extremely slow, because defense factories are scaled for peacetime export delivery schedules rather than rapid wartime production. Replacing a single lost fighter jet or advanced radar system can take up to 2 years. This leaves French planners with a difficult choice. Should they sacrifice some of their independent programs to buy massive amounts of standard ammunition, or should they keep their high-tech sovereignty and accept that their small force is highly fragile? To address these vulnerabilities, the government is trying to transition to a war economy. They are pressuring defense contractors to speed up manufacturing times and prioritize the needs of the French military over profitable foreign export contracts. However, France cannot afford its massive defense research costs without selling weapons to other countries. This deep dependence on foreign sales creates diplomatic challenges, forcing the government to balance national principles against the survival of its defense factories. On the positive side, building everything at home acts as a powerful economic engine. The defense sector supports over 200,000 high-tech jobs, keeping critical engineering, aerospace, and computing skills entirely within national borders. France is already planning decades ahead to maintain this independent status. They are designing a new nuclear-powered aircraft carrier to replace the current flagship, ensuring that unique skills in naval engineering and nuclear propulsion do not disappear. Independence is just as vital in the digital domain. By developing its own proprietary military encryption systems and maintaining offensive cyber units, the French military avoids relying on American or Chinese software giants for its critical defense networks. The undersea domain is where this independent posture is most secure. Domestically built ballistic missile submarines patrol the oceans constantly, ensuring a guaranteed second strike capability that forms the absolute core of French national protection. Ultimately, the French model proves that full-spectrum military independence is not just a budget calculation. It is a deliberate political choice to remain an independent decision-maker in global affairs, rather than a follower of other nations. If you enjoyed this video, please make sure to subscribe and leave a like. See you next time.